Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel for some more Blood and Plunder coverage for you today. So we got the last of the regular scenarios here from the main book encounter for you today. We're going to take a look at all three versions as normal, as we've been doing as part of the series. Before we get into that, make sure you swing over and hit that like and subscribe button. It just helps keep us growing. I appreciate everybody who's been doing that. And be sure to leave us a comment too if you enjoy this mission or if you have any thoughts in particular on the encounter mission or any particular version of it. So let's jump right in, guys. So the last of the regular scenarios, as we said, from the main book, the original book. So here, as you might guess from the name, so two opposing forces unexpectedly encounter each other while out on patrol, and basically just looking to inflict as much damage on the other guy as possible. So setup is kind of this opposite corners setup for the land and amphibious versions. C, we'll see in just a little bit, is a little bit different. So the entire board is land, no specific terrain is required, so you have some creativity there or flexibility. The defending player for deployment chooses a board corner, and then the attacker is basically in the opposite corner. So in these are 15-inch by 15 deployment zones for you guys there. As is normal, 6 turns for the length, and then the objectives, none. Just use the standard rules for strike points and inflict the most harm. So this is the essentially kill the other guy mission, whereas the others have kind of been more objective focused. So pretty simple. Sometimes it's just fun to get out there and see what you can do to wipe the opponent out. So that's all there's really to be said about that one for the moment. Amphibious, a little bit different there. So on one side of the board, there has to be a landmass that takes up anywhere from 25 to 75% of the whole board area. The rest of the board is going to be navigable water. Players determine if there's any water terrain, such as shoals, etc. And then scenario rules, the attacking force must have models on the land portion of the board at the end of turn 3 or later, or they'll get a strike point. Whereas we didn't really see any of that in the land version. And then deployment, again here, corners, 15 by 15 in the opposite corners again. And here, though, we still have to determine wind direction randomly before any ships are placed. 6 turns, and again, no other special rules. So just strike points and damage the opponent as much as possible. So you can kind of get an idea here. So roughly land here, and then the rest is water. But again, anywhere from 25 to 75%. So you can kind of customize however you need to there. So even though there isn't the one or any other special rules, just again kill the other person, the attacker does have to get on the board or on the land by turn 3 or later. So you do have that impetus there to get to the shore as fast as possible. But of course, the smart defender is going to make that as difficult as possible and have as unwelcome a reception as possible for you. All right, then finally, the C version. So the whole board here is deep water. You may add some terrain at your discretion. The defending force picks a board edge and sets up at least 16 inches away from each corner. Ships are placed as part of ships are placed so a part of the ship is within 2 inches of their deployment edge. We'll see that in a second. The attacker does the same on the opposite edge. All ships have to be 90 degrees to the wind. A beam when placed. 6 turns is normal. And beyond that, the fact that it is just entirely at sea, no other objectives. Again, just get in there, shoot the crap out of the enemy, destroy them, get in there, maybe some boarding if you don't sink them outright from cannon fire. But here, we're not dealing with opposite corners. So again, we have this 2-inch gap here, and then, or not gap, but 2 inches from the edge, and then 16 in the middle, basically. So we're not in the corners, we're actually in the center area, more or less. And then wind direction will be coming this way, and ships will be a beam there. So again, get to grips with the opponent and take them out. So depending on the game size, could be, just as they kind of have in the description here, one ship on one ship. Really, I guess, interesting, if you have ships of different sizes or multiple ships versus one ship, things like that. So, and of course the different nationalities. So makes for a really fun game. So what do we think about this last one, guys, right? The others have all kind of had, again, objectives that force you to be in different parts of the board, different by different turns and things like that, taking and holding them and so on and so forth, getting to the center of the board. The only one that really had that any kind of turn requirement here was the amphibious one, basically just forcing the attacker to get to the shore by middle point of the game. But yeah, it's fun to just have that basic mission more or less where you want to put some models on the table and then go after the enemy and take them out without having to worry about anything else. So for those who do enjoy that kind of mission, it's a nice change of pace from some of the more, again, objective heavy missions. But it also serves to um, work towards building for a list that can actually dish out the punishment, and different things will come into play there as we play amphibious and sea, whether we get what kind of ships we get involved, and how we get to grips with the enemy. So whether we're blasting away a little bit with cannon fire and other things, or if you just prefer to get right in there and try and board and just take them out as fast as possible. So there's all kinds of different skills that get employed here depending on which version we want to play. So overall, a fun way to wrap up these basic missions here from the core Blood and Plunder book. At some point, we'll be looking at some of the other scenarios and things that we get with the additional book and other customized scenarios that we can do there. So the game, as we can see here, does have rules for custom scenarios and other ways to work on that, and some things you might do for like certain events like tournaments and stuff like that, where you really just go full on customized missions, or you take the existing scenarios and modify them a little bit, or you just run stock scenarios. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. You just have to pick something that works effectively for you and your group. So hit us up again in the comments, guys. Let us know what you think about the encounter scenario, games that you've played using it, experience, how'd it go, any difference for you between land, amphibious, and sea, and tips and tricks that you might know there. So hit us up in the comments, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. We got plenty more Blood and Plunder coming for you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.